to start. Not a bad fish either. Not a bad fish either. Haven't even got the net ready. Haven't even got the net ready. Come on, my little friend. Jump in there. Beautiful. So g'day folks, welcome to another PTP Fishing and welcome to my take on flathead fishing with lures. And as you would have seen, what a magnificent start I've just had. Most probably a mid-40s flathead, lure right down its hatch. Great way to start the morning. Thank you so much for all the feedback on my take on the brim fishing with lures. Hopefully I can make this one a little bit shorter but just as comprehensive. Let's see how we go. I hope you enjoy the video. Welcome to another PTP Fishing. So there it is, a little bit bigger than I expected. 49 centimetres. Not bad for about 5th cast of the day. See you later, buddy. There you go. Sun's just come up over the little islands there. Let's see if there's any more over here. Took it on the drop, that one. Oh, another good flatty. Oh. Well, that's a pretty solid way to start the morning, isn't it? Very solid way to start the morning. Oh, oh no, don't do that. So what a way to start the morning. So 495, so half a centimetre bigger than the last one. Again, beautiful, healthy fish at this time of the year. It's a great time of the year to be catching flathead. See you later, buddy. Gone. So what a crazy way to start the morning. It's a great opportunity for me to start, I guess, passing on a little bit of information. So a very, very important thing in flathead fishing is choosing the right jig head for the area you're fishing. And that totally and utterly relates to the depth of water and the amount of current where you are. So where I'm fishing at the moment, it's 14, 15 foot deep and there's a lot of current. So I'm fishing a 3/8 jig head on about a 3.5 inch size soft plastic. That jig head weight is very, very important for one reason and one reason only really, is you need to be on the bottom because that's where the fish are. So if you're fishing shallower water with less current, you can obviously drop your jig head size. The key is you've got to be on the bottom. And one other tip is when you do get a fish like that, always check your leader, because when they grab your plastic, they can go in and rough up the leader quite badly. This one has, so I've got to retie. But just remember, choosing the right jig head weight. The key is you need to be on the bottom and you need to be fishing that bottom 1 or bottom 10% of water. I'm going to change or retie this leader and get back into the fishing. So I'll quickly take you through the retrieve I'm doing here, and I could hop it like this. The problem is there's a lot of current, so the further you hop it off the bottom, the more the plastic will move because of the current. So it's sort of that little wind and lift, but only a little short lift. What I'm trying to do is just make the plastic dart off the bottom. So any fish that's sitting there, when it's sort of seeing this thing, it's got to make a decision as to whether it's going to grab it or not. But what it's also ensuring is, again, that I'm keeping that plastic very close to the bottom, which is, as I mentioned before, is really, really important. There's another one. Oh, that feels like a good one too. Very distinctive bite of a flathead. They just sort of come and sit on your lure. Oh, what another lovely, lovely fish. The key, like any fishing, is just to make sure you keep that bend in that fishing rod, keep that line tight. Let the rod sort of cushion those little lunges, and then the drag will cut in when the fish decides that, or the rod can't absorb that lunge. So once again, this fish has absolutely inhaled this lure. Oh, look at that, what a beautiful fish. And there's fish number 3. Again, very similar in length. I'd say high 40s, maybe just on 50, this guy. But look at how wide they are at this time of the year. And that's not a typical one. The last 2 have been much wider than that. So I would suggest that the first 2 are most probably female fish because they're very broad in the shoulders. This one, as much as he's broad in the shoulders, he's pretty much, the body is straight length, but which suggests to me that it's most probably a male fish. But great start to the morning. That lure was all the way down there, and the funny thing was, is I stuck my finger in its mouth with this glove on, and it's just gone and spat my lure out. So anyway, that's 3 fish already. Great way to start the morning. And as I said, it's most probably the worst part of the tide. So there we are. 3 peas in a pod, these guys. 49 centimetres. Another lovely fish. Wants to go. See you, buddy. So let me quickly take you through this setup. So this is my favourite outfit, and I've most probably got 3 of these set up this way. So it's a 4 to 8 pound, 1 piece, 7 foot Wilson blade and tails rod. It's an ATC 2000 size reel. It's 6 pound Suffix 832 braid. Platypus Stealth 15 pound leader, and as I said, I vary the jig head weights according to the area that I'm in, but 90% of my fishing is done on this rod, reel and line. I do vary the leader sizes a little bit. When I'm fishing the shallow water, I might go back down to 10 pound, but generally 15, 12 pound just gives you a little bit of protection from those. They're not super sharp teeth, but you know, just to ensure that they don't rub you off. But that's the outfit. Good old Wilson blade and tails, 7 foot, 4 to 8 pound, 1 piece. Great little outfit with the ATC reel. Must be a few tailor or something down there. They're just playing with the plastic. Another one. Oh, it was a bit more of a subtle bite, that one. Don't think this is anywhere near as big a fish. It's not, but he's 100% scoffed that lure down again. Come on, just come in nice and easy, thank you. So if you ever wonder why you need to check your leader, that's why. It's taking that all the way in there. Like I said, that's not a monster fish. Again, it's most probably that sort of 48, 49, but those little rubbing teeth there at the top, they can play havoc with your leader. Anyway, we'll pop a tag in this guy and let him go. It's another solid fish, 475. See you later, buddy. Gone. Alright, so I've had to redo that, tie that jig head back on because the leader was cactus again. I did get asked the question with the brim fishing, and I'll answer it here as well. Somebody asked me the length of the leader that I use. It starts off at about the same length as the fishing rod, so about 7 foot, a little bit over. Obviously, as the day goes, it gets shorter and shorter depending on how the fish have eaten the plastic. But yeah, about 7 foot. I tie it on with an FG knot, but certainly you can use a double uni knot, whatever your preferred leader knot is. But yeah, it starts off at 7 foot. And already this morning I've had to retie 3 times, so it's most probably 6 foot long now. Hello, he says. I think I have myself a better fish here. Oh, do I ever. Look at this fish. Wow. So all the other fish that I've caught have been that sort of 47 to 49. I think I've cracked my first 50 here. Come on. Oh, he doesn't want to come to this net. There we go. Yeah. Nice way to start in a new location, isn't it? Beautiful fish. There's that lure well and truly in its corner of its mouth. I'd say I've definitely cracked the 50 here. This would be a 53 or a 54. And the area I'm in now is nowhere near as deep. I've sort of come up and sat on the flat and have thrown out into the deep, and this guy ambushed it as it was coming up the slope. So another lovely fish. There is no question at all, it is definitely flathead season at this time of the year down here in South East Queensland. So another ripper fish. Let's see if I can get some more. So I was pretty much spot on with my guesstimate there. So 54 centimetres. Fish of the day so far. See you later. So a quick interruption to the video just to take you through, I guess, the soft plastics I'm using, my preferences, and in reality, the beauty of soft plastic fishing for flathead is that I think most things will work. I think as long as you keep your lure choice in that sort of 3-inch to 5-inch lengthwise, and try and mimic the food that's in the system at the time. So if there's prawns in the system, look at a creature bait style thing. Generally at the moment, and certainly when I was filming this video, there's a lot of bait fish in the system, and the lure you saw me using in the video is that guy there. Now at the time, that lure had not been released yet. It has been now, and that is one of the new Rapala Crush City heavy hitters in the 3-inch size, and that is in the bait fish colour. Now on that day, I got 8 flathead on this bait, and the thing that got me with it was I associate a big paddle tail like that to have a big thumping wide action, grab a lot of water, and be quite difficult to fish, to hop and do all of those things. It just grabs so much water. This has an incredible action, but surprisingly enough, the water it grabs, it doesn't affect the way you fish. So really, really like that plastic. Sticking to the Crush City range, because that's what I've got on hand at the moment. The Imposter, which is that sort of prawn imitation. Lots of little wriggly legs that move. They're a great option. When you've got a lot of flow and you really, any plastic that has a paddle tail, a curl tail, lots of legs that grab water, makes it very difficult to get your lure back down to the bottom. A jerk shad, so something that ultimately you need to create the action in the lure, keeps it down the bottom, has less resistance to the water, so it keeps it in that bottom 10% that I was talking about. And that's a great option. So again, that's the Crush City, the jerk. The other one that I don't mind using so much is this guy here, which is the smaller little paddle tail. And again, same thing, most probably gives you an option as far as catching brim on it as well. You know, so the little suspect that it is, just a great all-rounder, but there is no question that a flathead will eat little lures, it'll eat big lures. I think it's a very opportunistic feeder, and if it swims past, they're more likely to grab it. So if you keep your lures 3 to 5 inches long, make sure you've got the jig head on that gets you into the bottom and fishing the bottom 10% of water. I don't think the retrieve, I don't think your favourite lure, no matter what it is, no matter what brand it is, you'll catch flathead on soft plastics. So get out and give them a go. Let's get back to the video.
All right, so are there any more is the big question. So while I'm here, I'll just have a quick flick with a hard body and just playing around in all these different spots, and it's not overly deep where I'm sitting here, so I figure it's just worth half a dozen casts with a hard body. See if there's something sitting in this area here. You may ask the reason why I'm throwing a hard body, not a plastic. Well, it's quicker to do it this way. I can do half a dozen casts in 4 or 5 minutes, and if I don't get any bites, then I can just move on. Okay, so we've had a little move, and I guess when you're talking structure or areas that flatheads sit, well, drains like this one are a great example of, they'll sit at the mouth of this and wait for food to swim to them. So I've changed weights of plastics because it's quite shallow here. As you can see, it doesn't take very long to get to the bottom. Just sitting here just to see if there's any flatties taking advantage of whatever may come swimming out of this drain. Oh, what a bruiser of a brim that is. What an absolute ripper.
So I thought I'd just have a little speculator just against one of the, I guess, the natural mangrove edges, because the flatheads sit there, but it was very shallow. And wow. And I mean, wow. That's definitely a 30+ centimetre brim. I guess a little bit like the brim fishing where the flathead you bycatch. There is no question that the brim and the flathead will sit in similar areas. So that is a ripper of a fish. I said it has to be over 30 centimetres. It's a cracker. Nice little surprise. It's been a little while. We ran out of tide. Tide's only just started running out, so hopefully I can find the flathead again. But this guy came along to play, and I'm not complaining. So there that fish is, 34 tip, 32 fork. Beautiful fish. Thanks for coming. See ya. Well, it serves me right for not replacing the battery and my camera on my head. There's fish of the day. It'd be high 50s, I would think. There's that little paddle tail. I was just exploring just a little deeper section of the area I'm in. This guy climbed on board, and of course I went to press go on the camera on my head. No go, no battery left. Anyway, this guy here will get a tag and let go. There we are, 59 centimetre flathead. Very, very happy with that. Ooh, you want to go, don't you? See you later. Oh, look at that. Oh no. God, didn't come off. Oh, no way. My oh my oh my. I thought this guy had got off. He just swum towards me. Now that, I actually thought I'd missed that fish. I'm trying to hop and I'm going, where's my plastic? He'd actually taken off with it. Beautiful big wide fish. It'd be close to 60. They're getting bigger. Right, I guess one of the things you've got to be aware of with flatties is handling them. You see a lot of people holding them by the mouth and hanging them up and not supporting their weight. Particularly the big fish, that just won't work. But there are a couple of things you've got to be aware of. And one of them is that little spike right there. Sort of a double spike on either side of the head. That spike there has an anticoagulant. A, it will hurt. B, you will bleed. So they're worth avoiding. But when you are handling these guys, it's really important to support the weight, particularly the bigger fish, because as much as they will swim away, if you have hung them up by the neck, unfortunately a percentage of those guys will die. But this fish wasn't as big as I thought, 54 centimetres, still a cracking fish though. I really want, now that the tide has dropped, and as you can see it's just getting to the edge of the mangrove roots, which to me says that all of the bait fish, everything now are out of the really shallow water and they've got to sit in these channels and these little drop-offs. So Mr. Flathead's pretty likely to be holding on edges like this. So I'm now going to concentrate on this sort of water, some of the big open flats, some of the areas where it's much shallower. So I've been focusing very much on fishing 10 to 14 foot of water. Now I'm going to be focusing on fishing most probably 7 to 3 feet of water. So we'll see how this goes. Quarter ounce jig head on now. I've got the Imposter, the Rapala Crush City plastic on. If it doesn't work, I'll go to the paddle tail, because obviously, as you were seeing with the fish I've caught so far, the paddle tail's been on fire. I think what I'm going to do, as much as I'm getting taps every now and again on the little paddle tail, I always feel on these flats that I can cover the water better with a little hard body. So I'm going to swap over. Because as you would have seen from all my various videos, even
trying to catch the brim on lures video. Got a lot of fish on, a lot of flathead on the little hard body, hoping to catch a brim. So it's the right depth of water. It's that, like I said, it's that sort of 2, 3, 4 feet. The hard body will touch the bottom, create a disturbance. Because I can fish it that little bit quicker, I can also cover the water a little better until I start finding fish, and then you can focus on one area. But for the moment, the bites are few and far between, so I may as well cover the water a little faster. And if I come across a concentration of fish, then I can slow down what I'm doing and pick them up that way. Anyway, hopefully sooner rather than later you'll be seeing me catch a fish. So now that I've moved to hard body lures, I just want to take you very quickly through those. So the ones you see me using in the video, are lures like this guy here. So that's a Xeric Bulldog crank. That sort of short, fat profile, quite deep running, bounces its way along the bottom, you know, touches the bottom, creates a commotion, attracts the flathead to it. You know, things like the Duo Spearhead Ryukyu, same sort of thing, slightly longer, skinnier profile. Again, they're imitating a bait fish, but same thing, bobbling along the bottom, creates that commotion, and like I said, the flathead are attracted to it and come and eat it. The beauty of flathead though is a lot of the guys now, and what's become very popular, is throwing big lures in very shallow water, catching very, very big fish. You know, lures like that guy there, and that's a small option. So that's a 7 or 8 centimetre lure, and that would most probably be as small as some of those guys go. It is more like something like that, which is a Duo Tide Minnow 12 centimetre lure, and then again, that's mostly small again, because people are then throwing lures that size, which is a 14 centimetre lure. What they're doing, throwing it out over the flat, working along and just flicking it along. And if you've seen some of the footage and some of the YouTube clips, it is absolutely amazing to see these flatheads stalking behind the lure, and eventually they just can't help themselves and absolutely smash it. So these big lures, you know, that's nothing for a flathead. They're looking at that and they're just thinking that it's a mullet or a larger bait fish, a bigger meal, and something that they want to eat. So you got a lot of different options in your hard body lures. If you're just throwing around in sort of areas like I was, little drains and runoffs, the smaller lures are most probably easier to do, but don't discard the opportunity up on these flats, because there's certainly, at this time of the year in particular, there's a lot of fish sitting on those flats and they're waiting for a big meal to swim past, and that could well be your hard body lure. Let's get back to the video. So I've come to a little bit of a crossroads with the casting. Haven't had a bite for quite some time now, so there is another very effective method, I guess, to cover ground, but also to catch flathead, and that's trolling. And that lure there, which is a lively lure, is most probably the one that most people were aware of, you know, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, and it still catches tons and tons of fish today. And certainly the pink colour seemed to be the one that everybody had to have and had to put on. These days the lively lures are obviously still very popular, but the Xeric Tango Shads, and if you have a look at that guy, that's got a lot of wall wounds, that lure. That's caught me a lot of fish. But yeah, the Tango Shads have become most people's go-to lure. And the key with these, it's a little bit like the hard bodies when you're casting, is you need them to be bouncing along the bottom, but what you don't want them to do is hit the bottom, kick on their axis and come up. So these guys just correct themselves, bounce along the bottom, create that disturbance, and hopefully Mr. Flathead comes along. So I'm going to do a little bit of trolling now just to cover some ground. Again, just it's quicker than what I've been doing, and what I've been doing is catching nothing and feel like I should be covering more water. So hence I'm going to do a little bit of trolling. Hopefully that works. Let's see how I go. Okay, so we're all set up. Tango Shed on here, and the beauty of the trolling is you do not need it to go too far back. That's probably 15-20 metres is about all you need. And then I like to focus in between 3 and 5 foot of water. You can go with the tide, you can go against the tide. Some days it doesn't matter. Some days it matters a lot. So you just got to take note of what happens to be working on the day. But yep, we're now searching some water. And as you can see, that tango shad's just bobbling along the bottom beautifully there. So that's exactly what we want to see, what I want to feel. There we go, there's my first bite. That feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. It would have taken me a significant amount of time to fish the area I've just trolled over the top of. Oh, and it's a ripper of a fish too. Absolute ripper of a fish. Absolute ripper of a fish. Wow, this is a big fish, folks. This is a big fish. Big fish. Just got to take my time with this fish because it's only, wowee, this is a cracker. This is one of those times where, wow, look at this fish. I cannot move this fish. He's dictating terms to me, this fish. Oh, wow. Look at that fish. Oh, that is a absolute honker. Oh, wowee. Go in that net. Oh, my. Oh, no fish. Just take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Sometimes you wonder why you make decisions. The decision to go trolling was an absolute cracker. So there's that tango shad. I'll put the description, the colour, everything around me. I have to show you this fish. This is huge. Check that out. That is by far the biggest flathead I've caught in a very, very, very long time.
trolling, hey? What a great decision that was. Why did I make that decision? Absolutely no idea. All I knew is I didn't feel like I was covering the water well enough. If this doesn't give you the urge to go and give trolling for flathead a try, I don't think nothing will. Okay, this girl's been out of the water long enough. I'm going to throw a quick tag in her, and the next time you'll see her, she'll be getting let go. Hopefully go and make lots and lots of little flatties for us to come and catch down the track. There it is, nearly as wide as the brag mat. 745, and what I was talking about earlier is these big fish, you definitely don't want to hang them. It's the beauty of these gloves. Support the weight of the fish, support the belly. You do not want to hang these fish up in any way, shape or form. I've swum this fish 3 times between all of the takes. Pop her in the water. Give her a little breathe. See you later, darling. I just don't know what to say after that fish. That is just super special. Super special. Anyway, just going to go along this edge. I'm going to have a little bit of a flick in one more spot. That'll most probably be the end of this video. So I've tried really hard to get another flathead on the cast hard body lure, and it just hasn't happened. Unfortunately, the wind and the tide have got the better of me now, and it's time to go home. So I hope you've enjoyed my take on flathead fishing with lures. Hope you take something out of it. Hope you pick up a few tips and tricks. And I hope you get out there and give it a try yourself. So if you have liked the video, don't forget, like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. I'll catch you next time from PTP Fishing. How good was that fish, eh? It was huge. See ya.